Good morning. We are continuing the AACC Code of Ethics. So I think this is the 9th session, and next week will be the last one. Okay? Yeah. 1-410-A, discussing the limits of confidentiality. Clients should be informed about both the counselor's commitment to confidentiality and its limits before engaging in counseling. All counselors or the administrations of counseling centers, they have to get sign on the confidentiality documents. Confidentiality related documents, there are more than one, because confidentiality is pretty important in counseling settings. So they are supposed to know, the clients, they have to know what kind of confidentialities they can have. Because they are coming to counseling centers and counselors for, opening all kinds of things to their counselors, and they want to know what's really going on confidentiality. You don't want to pay the money to the counselors or counseling centers if you are not sure that they're gonna keep the secrets, what you say, what you talk to the counselors. Okay, but there are some, at the first part, the counselors want to let the counselees know. They want to keep the, they want to keep the secrets, and confidentiality is the priority for the counseling services. And but there are some limits, as you know. When the counselors want to harm themselves or others, and they need special treatments, kind of mental treatments or physical treatments, then counselors want to let their counselees know. They can report that to the supervisor, absolutely, and maybe police department or hospitals, so that they can get the proper treatments. At the same time, they can avoid any violence to others. That's the limitations. They have to know it, okay? And they usually sign on the documents. Christian counselors avoid stating or implying that confidentiality is guaranteed or absolute, and discuss the limits of confidentiality, privacy, and privileged communication with clients at the onset of counseling. So that's why the Christian counselors or all counselors, they cannot say they guarantee 100% of confidentiality, because there are limitations and exceptions. Okay, and at the same time, privacy. It's related with the safety of the counselees and counselors and others. The privacy and privileged communication, those are things very limited. It can be limited. So it is all about the safety of the counselees and counselors, counseling centers, and others, third parties of, the counselors, families and relatives or friends, co-workers, when their safety got kind of challenged by the counselors, they have to stop it or open their conversation with the counselors because of the safety. That's why if that which means when a counselor knows that his or her counselee is about to kill himself or herself. When the counselor found that, but the counselor didn't report that to the supervisor and other related organizations, then the counselor has the responsibilities on it. Okay, it's not gonna be the 100%, responsibilities because we cannot, avoid all kinds of incidents or problems, but not reporting that can be very serious responsibilities on the counselors. So it's quite important. 1-420, asserting confidentiality or privilege following demands for disclosure. Protecting confidential communications, including the assertion of a privilege in the face of legal or court subpoenas, shall be the first response of Christian counselors to demands or requests for client communications and records. So the counselors wanna keep the confidentiality, but that's the first thing the Christian counselors and all counselors wanna do that. Okay. For that, the counselors can ask clients the recording, or they can be recorded, the surveillance, the cameras, like CCTVs and recording devices can be applied to the counselors. Well, in general, well-equipped counseling centers and counseling offices, they have cameras in the rooms for the safety reasons. And even the counseling centers or counselors can let their counselors know that all counseling sessions will be recorded, okay? Or videotaped or recorded, or both. That is important actually for the safety reasons, because we cannot understand. There can be some manipulations on the voice recordings. Okay. So we need cameras, video recordings. It is kind of common. I think it can be mandatory to all kinds of counseling sessions, or you're gonna miss lots of things. and it can be very irreversible when something happens during the counseling sessions. Okay. So we better just keep that in our mind that all kinds of counselings can be recorded. I just strongly recommend that counselors want to record all counseling sessions. If they don't like it, they have to find other counselors or counseling centers. That's what I think. Yeah. Actually, that is for the counselors also. Recently, there was a news in Korea. Actually, that's what happened in Korea. I think a few months ago. I don't know. I remember. A lady just sued a taxi driver, and she just claimed that her taxi driver, sexually assaulted her, and but the taxi driver just said not guilty, so they had to both parties were in the court, and thankfully the taxi driver was recording all the conversations. That was not videotaped, but the recorded. And then the voice record shows that she actually alerted the taxi driver and requested some sexual activities, and then please touch my body or particular body parts. That's what she said. Thankfully, because of the videotapes, the taxi driver could be released from the all kinds of accuses, and then actually the taxi driver won from the suit, legal suit, and that's definitely. So we want to record all kinds of things, and if that is possible, videotaping is very, very important. So singing is believing. So that's the same to the counseling settings. Well, I'm just stressing on the safety, because counseling is dangerous. So nowadays people are familiar with Zoom meetings and Teams, Google Teams, so that they can have the meetings. That is quite important. I mean, the counselors don't have to travel to the counseling centers or counselors' offices, but they can just talk on the through the Zoom meetings, which is great. There will be no physical harms between the counselors and counselors. That is actually not happening. Okay. A doctor stabbed by a knife, stabbed by a patient. That's what happening too. So doctors are not nurses, are not, safe jobs. Okay. Counseling's, it's not a safe job. Okay. So we better be careful, and we want to just equip all kinds of tools and facility-wise we need to design those things very safe ways. Right, 1-420-A, disclosure of confidential client communications. Christian counselors disclose only that client information that have written permission from the client to disclose, or that which is required by legal or ethical mandates. So we can just disclose any confidential communications with our clients. We can do it. And but we only can disclose the client's information as long as we got the permission by our clients. Okay, so we're not gonna open everything, but we can disclose the certain particular parts we got permission by the clients. Okay. And that must be according to that must be followed to the legal or ethical mandates. And counselors shall maintain confidentiality of client information outside of the bounds of that narrowly required parameter to fulfill the disclosure, and shall limit disclosures only to those individuals having a direct professional interest in the case. So keeping the confidentiality of client information is quite important. We cannot stress more than that. Okay. Outside the bounds of that narrowly required parameter to fulfill the disclosure, and shall limit disclosures only to those individuals having a direct professional interest in the case. So that's what we want to keep in the counseling sessions. Right? Do you have any questions or comments? No? Alright. Then we want to just continue to do this. 1-420-B. The client has the holder of privilege. Christian counselors understand that disclosure of all client communications, other than those required by regulatory, mandated, or legal standards, is at the discretion of the client or the client's legal representative, and that clients may both consent to the release of the information or revoke consent at any point in counseling sessions. Yeah. So when counselors disclose of any client's communications, then there can be legal problems. Okay. But we have to, the counselors are supposed to open all informations we got from the counseling sessions to the client's legal representatives. When the clients want to have all kinds of information, they just open to during the counseling sessions, then we have to um, just to show all those things to the clients, especially when they have legal problems. The client's representatives, legal representatives or whatsoever, they can request the information, and when we know that the clients consented to that, we have to give all information to the client's representatives. Okay. But can we just give away the information we got during the counseling sessions to the legal representatives? We still need the representatives and the client's consent. Or we're not gonna just give that away to even our clients' legal representatives. So we need our client's consent no matter what. Okay? Because without our client's consent, we don't want we don't want any other people, even the client's legal representatives, misuse those things. So that is quite crucial things we need to consider. Okay. All right. 1-420-C, subpoenas. In the face of subpoena, Christian counselors neither deny nor immediately comply with disclosure demands, but should assert privilege in order to give the client sufficient time to consult with an attorney to direct disclosures. Well, as counselors, sometimes we just have to, we can be subordinates, okay? So we want to just go to the court and say about those things, but we need to talk with our clients, legal representatives and clients. If they just consent to that, we can talk about the clients based on the information we got from the counseling sessions. Okay. And they have to talk about it. Our clients and their legal representatives can talk about it, and we need to give them some time, good enough of time to talk about it. And they can say yes, the counselors can use the information we got from the counseling sessions or not. But there are some limitations and exceptions we can get from our counselees. When we have the consent form from our counselees, we can do whatever we can based on the consent forms. So that's the point why we need lots of documents work, right? So because those things, but those things were, happened in the past, and we don't want to just make more, mistakes or any hardships or disadvantages or legal responsibilities what we are not supposed to take. That's why we want to have so many consent forms before the counseling sessions. So it takes a lot of time for the clients, and then it is kind of annoying for the clients, signing on all kinds of paper documents, but that's what it is. That's what it is. So you better just read the consent form carefully, and you better just make the consent forms carefully, and counselors have to read it and carefully sign it. Without that, we want to just make lots of problems, legal problems and confidentiality problems, and there can be so many tricky things, and it is hard for us to make decisions on all cases. So when we just follow those kind of code of ethics, we will not have any problem with it, because that's the secure. That is kind of secure. That's our securities, and that's the securities to the clients also. And once we consent on it, we don't have to worry about it, and that's the thing we want to just know. Okay, very clear. But those code of ethics and other codes and laws are 100% sufficient. Well, they are trying to be good for 100% good for the clients and counselors, but there can be some tricky parts also. So making codes and laws are pretty tough job, but once they make it, they can have lots of amendments as time passes and as cases, all kinds of cases are happening. So we can consider all of those things, and just try to find the proper codes and laws. 1-430, protecting persons from deadly harm, the rule of mandatory disclosure. Okay. Christian counselors accept the limits of confidentiality when human life is imperiled or abused. Okay, that's the point. Okay. Human life is not limited to the counselees, but counselors and counselees people, or counseling center people. People can go crazy at any time. We cannot expect, because we don't know what's going on in us, and we don't know what's going on to others. Okay. So, because we don't know what's going on, we have to think about it. We need to get ready for it. Even when we get ready for it, we can miss, many things. We can miss many important parts. So, if that is what it is, we have to be careful, right? We have to be careful. That's why 뭐 이렇게 뭐해? Counselors take appropriate action, including necessary disclosure of confidential information. For example, when we know that our counselors want to kill themselves, see, then we are supposed to take appropriate actions or actions for that. What we can do, we can call police, we can call security, we can call other counselors, or we can call the client's family members, okay? We can call hospitals, we can call any other people who can have those things, including necessary disposal of confidential information to protect it. And then we can just let others know that we are on the counseling sessions and our clients is about to kill themselves or kill others. That's the confidential information, but we want to disclose it. To protect life in the face of client's threat, for example, suicide, homicide, and serious bodily harm to others, life-threatening disease, and or the abuse of children, elders, and dependent persons. Okay. Some clients want to just harm others physically and mentally, and what we're gonna do, we want to just let others know that. Who? Police departments, right? And the third parties who can control the clients. Okay. Suicide, homicide, they can kill others. And they can just tell the counselors that they are about to kill others. Then we cannot just, comfort that, counselors only, but we can just do more than that. Okay. Life-threatening disease. What if your counselors told you that they have heart problems, and then symptoms are apparent, and they don't want to go to hospitals or see their doctors at all for some reasons. For example, they want to just die, or something like that, or they know that their body parts are decaying, rotting, so they're gonna lose their body parts, and they just want to let those things happen, and because they don't like to take care of their bodies, okay, or they want to just try to jump down from the high buildings or high places, or from cliffs. You can expect what will happen to the counselors. When you jump down from a high place, from the building or cliffs, you know that you're gonna get hurt seriously, or you're gonna die. Then you don't want to just let others know about it. That's not quite right. So that's the point you want to let others know what can happen. So suicide, homicide, serious bodily harm to others, life-threatening disease, and/or the abuse of children. And you know that your counselors abuse the children, their children or older children's, elders, their parents, their grandparents, and other, elders. They don't know, because that happens to people. In Japan, many years ago, it was kind of vogue, was kind of really messy and kind of dangerous vogue. Kind of, it's certain activities can be toxic and dangerous, and people can copy that. It was popular actually. The thing is that the little kids like junior high or even elementary kids, when they just beat the elders. Because the elders, they don't have, they don't have, strong power, physical power to resist or run away. They are slow, they are weak. So the little kids, junior high or high school or even elementary kids, they just let those elders in a kind of quiet place, and they just beat them. There was no reason, when they just randomly pick any some elders, who cannot see right clearly, or who cannot run away fast, who cannot shout because they are weak. They just pick those elders and pull those elders to the quiet places and beat them up. Right? That was pretty messy. That's more than misdemeanor. So that's felonies, and that's what happened in Japan for many years. And when you see those kind of plans and activities during the counseling sessions, you want to report to that, the police departments. You don't have to keep the confidentiality of your clients at all. That's violent activities, and you see those things from your clients, and you cannot keep the confidentiality at all. Okay. And dependent persons, some, I want to just say more than some, but some parents beat their kids or any other dependents. That's kind of sad, but that is those kind of news keep on the broadcast, on TVs and radios and YouTubes, because I don't know, people they don't want to just raise or care their kids anymore, their own kids, or or any stepmoms and fathers. They just abuse their kids, and when you just notice that kind of activities, you have to report to that to your supervisors or police departments so that they can stop it and help other those victims. That is quite apparent things we have to do. Okay. The next one is 1-430-A, the duty to protect others. Well, counseling is kind of complicated sometimes, especially when we see those kind of wrong activities happening to our clients, and so there are many things we have to care and do. The duty to protect others, the duty to take protective action is triggered when the counselor, number one, has responsible suspicion as specified in state and/or federal status that a minor child under 18 years, elder person 65 years and older, or dependent adult regardless age, has been harmed by the client or has been perpetuated upon the client. Okay. That is quite clear. Okay, it's quite clear. So we have responsibilities on those things. Okay. So when we give counseling services to the minors and elders, and they got victimized by somebody else, and we want to report that. So we are not supposed to hesitate to report that right away because they are helpless and they are minors and elders. We are believing that they cannot understand what's really going on. So when they got victimized by the perpetrators or bearers, they cannot understand what's going on, and they cannot, maybe they want to just protect those people because they still can get any kinds of other kinds of benefits from those people. In general, the batterers or perpetrators, they did or harm others and then comfort them right away to avoid any legal problems. And they just manipulate and control them with by money and power or any other legal things. For example, a lady got married to a person in the States. She just came from other country, and even though they got married, her husband was holding her passport, and so she cannot go any other places without the passport. That was kind of the first step for the batterers did for just tying the lady his wife to him, and so she cannot run away from him. And he it's kind of disgusting, but he just kind of sucked her whole bodies and necks any other bodies, so she had to wear long sleeves and scarves always, even during the summer times. Other cases, and then, so she couldn't get any driver licenses, no IDs. She only got the passport, but her husband was holding that. So he wanted to control and manipulate her, and it's like a puppet in his home. So she didn't go outside much because of all kinds of marks, and she has no car, no driver license. That was miserable lives, and he just continued to talk to her that she's gonna be deported when she doesn't listen to him. But she has no idea what to do, and cause language barriers, and she didn't actually know what the police department's phone numbers or whatsoever. Cause as soon as she got to the States, that's what he did, and he just threatened her to just send her to the prison or police department. It's not appropriate though. That's the worst case I ever know. And but because she has no idea what kind of social systems or safety systems she can get from the government or police department and the court, because she had to spend lots of years in that condition, but finally she got rescued by her neighbors and the organizations, like counseling centers and others. Well, when you got bettered or by your husband or something or somebody, you have no ID or you have no legal status in here, which means you are non-documented person in the States. It doesn't matter. You can get permanent residency, green card, right away, or you can just stay in the United States legally as long as you want. That's guaranteed because you got the victim by the betterers and then if you want to just stay in the United States, you can just stay in a shelter for some months, and then you can be relocated to the longer. You can stay longer than 3 months, and the government protects you, and you can get legal status in the United States, and you can get free legal help by the government, or there are lots of non-profit organizations supporting you legally and financially and medically. So you can get free counselings, you can get free medical treatments. There are many things you can get. So when you just see those kind of cases, you have to report it right away, and then you can support your clients as much as you can. And that's why networking and collecting all kinds of informations, the social systems, which can support your clients, you want to know all kinds of things. Okay? And you want to just work with those organizations and governments as much as you can. So we need action. We need to do something for our clients, and that's the things we need to do. Okay. But lots of people, they don't know what kinds of services they can get and what kind of rights they have. That's the problem. They cannot request any help to for themselves. That's the problem. So we have to be just let them know what kind of rights and responsibilities and benefits they can get. Okay. That's one of the stigmas we have in our societies, because when you got beaten by husband or wives, well, domestic violence shows that 10% of domestic violence is happening to males. So that means wives or female partners beat male partners or husbands. 10%, but I don't think that is less than 10% but more, because they don't report to that much because of the shame. And same to the females too. They fear and they feel shame and they don't report it. That's part of the stigma too. You got beaten because you have a problem. That's kind of things still happening in this society. We're gonna just take 10 minutes break and come back and we're gonna just take care of those stuff from 2. Okay? Let's take a break. Oh, we got a car?
This one,
Yeah.
it was in the garden.
Oh my goodness, is it okay?
Because
What did you do?
cut the roses. There was
Roses? Wow, we got scratched by the rose thorns, huh? Okay, wow.
Yeah, because they're. I
Looks
just-
like a little bit deep.
Huh?
Looks like a little bit deep.
It's
It's okay.
always when I do gardening, it's
Like the gardenings.
yeah.
That's good. Good hobby. What others do you have in your garden?
Some bushes.
Some bushes.
Yeah,
And roses and bushes.
bushes, roses. I don't have a lot of flowers because I don't have too much time.
Alright.
You do gardening?
No. Well, that's not my part.
I like.
Yeah. My wife is just watered some plants and that's all.
I like it. I wish I had more time.
I don't even water my plants often. I want to just let my wife do it.
But they have sprinklers.
No, we have just some I think five plant pots in the patio, and that's it.
So you don't have bushes and stuff.
No, I'm living in a townhouse, so the association hires the gardeners, so I don't do that. I used to do it when I was in a house, and then the backyard was kind of big, so it was kind of hard for me to mow once a week, you know. But next door neighbor had
Gardener.
a fig tree, figs, figs,
Yeah.
figs, and the branches, over the fence a lot, and then so we enjoyed the figs a lot, and that was so delicious.
They let you eat? How because you had
So when you're next door, the neighbors, fruits and branches over the fence to you, you can do whatever you want. You can just cut it, or you can just enjoy the fruits, avocados, and my next door neighbor is neighbors. What is that? Tree branches over to our fence, and what was it? Pomegranate, and I'm just
Nice.
looking at it, and it's gonna be ripened, and so we are just counting how many pomegranates we can have. It's gonna be free fruits. I like it.
And the neighbor was nice?
I don't care.
But she was nice or no?
Well, they okay.
I don't have good
But-
neighbor. I want
But once that is over to my place, I can do whatever I want.
I have very bad
You have a bad neighbor?
Well, no, most are okay. The another side is good, but the one that
Oh.
bullying me.
Oh,
It's older guy.
they are bothering you?
No, yeah, because he everything would go on his part, he just cut.
Oh.
When something go on my part and I cut,
Wow.
he's yelling that he will sue
no.
me.
No.
You told me that if something go on my part, I can cut.
It's not fair. Huh?
But you told me that if something go on my part, his plans, I can cut, yeah?
Yeah.
You told me that I can't cut because he will sue me.
Well, usually you wanna just ask your neighbor first.
No,
It's
he
over
don't-
in my fence.
he
So
don't
do you
do
mind if I cut it? Or how you gonna take care of it? And I'd rather just ask my neighbor first.
But he don't ask me, he just, everything go on his side,
Mm.
my trees, I also have some trees, he cut. He don't ask me, but when come to me,
Yeah, you cut it and they yell on you.
he's bad,
Yeah, no good.
he's bored.
No good neighbor. No good neighbor.
But the other side is very good,
All right, good.
and the other people are okay.
Yeah,
This
there are lots of crazy people in this.
He's
in this
crazy,
world.
yeah, he's crazy, I would
Yeah.
say. This older guy,
That is bad. That is bad. Just to let your neighbor knows that whatever any branches over to your fence, you're gonna just cut it or let your neighbor take care of that before it over to your fence. Yes. Crazy people.
he already told me that he will never cut. Because
Yeah. There are
Yes.
so many crazy people in this world.
he's crazy, bad.
Yeah. Well, we want to just continue to the duty to protect others. Number 2, okay, we need to do something when the counselor has direct client admissions of serious and imminent suicidal threats. So when the counselors know that our counselors want to just kill themselves soon, we want to just do something for that. Okay, we need to do what? Protective action. That's our duty. That's not our choice, but our duty. We have to do it. We have to do something for that. Okay? So when you see your client is about to kill herself or himself, what are you gonna do?
You need to call someone,
Call someone what?
and
Call the police?
not police, what is the number? You told us, or
For the suicidal? 988?
maybe we should just,
Yeah. Yeah, I just to let you know that 911 is for the emergency and 988 is for suicide. What if you don't call your supervisor
oh yes.
or police department or other people to who are related to the suicidal attempts or something like that, what if it happened to you?
You lose you can be arrested, yeah? Or lost your, for sure, lost your
Yeah, many things can
permission
be.
and what?
Yeah, because that's the duty.
But they can arrest you for this?
I don't think they,
You just lose
they
your,
can, yeah. But you got in trouble. Maybe you lose your license or you will got penalized by the government or your associations or you have to stand behind the bar, in some cases, because they can sue you. Themselves, your clients or your clients' families can sue you. Okay, then it's not gonna be a pleasant experience at all, because you have to waste all your time and money counseling anybody else. And those things can be happening. So duty is a duty, it's not a choice, so you have to report to that and you have to do something to protect your clients. Number 3, has direct client admissions of harmful acts or threatens action that is serious, imminent, and obtainable against a clearly identified third person or group of persons. So when you have when you know that your clients is about to harm others, kind of hurt their kids, parents, husbands, and wives, or the co-workers they used to do it, they used to work with. We can have some news. Kind of fired employee just got angry, so he just got back to the workplace and shoot the supervisor or other co-workers that he used to hate. Okay, so those things are happening in this country, so we have to be careful. So when we know that our clients want to harm others, then we have to report it, and we need to. We have a particular process to take care of those kind of problems. So we want to just follow the protocol, so we can just save others' safeties and secure ourselves also. Because clients, when they go crazy, they do whatever they want, and we cannot expect what will be happen. So we need to protect ourselves, clients, and other third parties. 1-430B, guidelines to ethical disclosure and protective action. Action to protect life, whether regarding a client or a third person, shall be that which is reasonably necessary to stop or forestall deadly or harmful action in the present situation. This could involve hospitalization of the client, intensifying clinical intervention to the degree necessary to reasonably protect against a harmful action, consultation and referral with other professionals, or disposal of harm or threats to law enforcement, protective services, identifiable third persons and or family members able to help with protective action. Okay? So action to protect life. Action to protect life. Because life is the most important. We can lose our maybe some body parts or money or fame, reputations, but we still can live and survive. But if we lose our lives, that's it. So we want to save our lives first, and we respect our clients' lives and any potential victims from by our clients. Those are important, so we need to do particular action for that. Okay. Then how we can stop those activities? We can't do anything else about without counsel. Only for counseling. But what if we see those kind of things happening, and what we are supposed to do? We need to right away call 911 or call any other things. If you don't have any ideas in your mind, just call 911 and they're gonna just send dispatch some police officers, or they can call medical staff after securing the potential bearers or perpetrators, and then they're gonna just send those people to any particular organizations and professionals that they can handle them. Okay? So, or disclosure of harm addressed to law enforcement. Well, some people got angry to the police officers and police departments, and they get angry to the fire departments. For example, I don't know what really, I just didn't read the articles closely, but the big fire in Maui, and more than 100 people got victimized and they died. And I don't know, even though we had big fires, when once big fire or water, flooding or tsunamis, we cannot do anything else. But we lost 100 people by the fire. It is hard to understand that, because what the government did for that, the I don't know, vacation was too late, or the fire was so fast. But in the United States, we lost 100 people because of the fire. Well, it's hard to understand that. Okay, so they're gonna investigate that closely, and those things. So we want to just the most important thing we want to just remember is that we want to just save our lives and our clients' lives and any related people's lives. For that, we can disclose the information we got from the clients. All things we're not gonna just disclose anything else, but when something happens harming your life and others' life and my life, then we have to disclose it. That's the duty. Okay. Right, and 1-430-C. Special guidelines when violence is threatened against others. Action to protect third persons from client violence may involve, or in states that have a third person protection, TARASOF duty, require disclosure of imminent harm to the intended victim, to their family or close friends, and to law enforcement. So this is it. So this is you. This is the client. Okay. And let's say he is about to kill or kidnap particular people, and you heard that from your client, and what you gonna do? You're gonna call law enforcement, and you can, if you know the person, like the family members, and you're gonna just call this person too, and let these people and these family members know that, or kidnapping this family, and you're gonna just call law enforcement at the same time. If you can, you're gonna just let those people know that this guy is about to kill or kidnap you guys. Okay, So that's the thing we wanna just do. That's the special guideline. You cannot say, oh, I just respect my clients' secrets, or I want to just keep the confidentiality of your clients. That doesn't work at all. When child abuse, elder abuse, or abuse of dependent adults exists, as defined by state law, okay? Christian counselors shall report to child or elder protective services or to any designated agency established for protective services as required by applicable law and regulatory requirements. So there are lots of requirements for counselors and teachers, pastors, medical doctors. We have lots of laws on those professionals. They have to report particular things, okay. Or because they are taking care of their kids. They are teachers and guardians and organizations, preschools, and they have to report it. Report it right away, because no time to protect others if that is too late. So state laws define those things clearly, so we cannot say I don't know it, because you have to know it, because you are working on a particular certain areas like the counseling areas and teaching education areas and caring areas, and you have to know it. Okay, there is no excuses. You have to be trained by the organization, or you have to train your teachers and counselors so that they can get ready for those kind of emergency situations. So there is no excuses. Okay. In 1985, the California legislature codified the Tarasov rule. That is, this California law now provides that a psychotherapist has a duty to protect or warn a third party only if the therapist actually believed or predicted, actually know or predicted that the patient posed a serious risk of inflicting serious bodily injury upon a reasonably identifiable victim. Okay? So, if you clearly know that your client wants to kill his father, or you can just predict, oh, maybe my client is about to kill his father, then that's according to the Tarasov rule and code, you have to give a notice to your client's father that his son is about to kill him. Okay, that's the what Tarasov rule. I think Taras must be one of the person related to the code. So when something happens, some people use people's name for the rule or codes. Okay. Prozenzit's Pardar was a student from Bengal, India. He entered the University of California, Berkeley as a graduate student in September 1967 and resident at International House. The fall of 1968, he attended folk dancing classes at the International House, and it was there that he met Tatiana Tarasov. Okay? So I think the Prozensit harmed Tarasov, but somebody knew in the meantime his plan, and he couldn't do anything maybe. Okay. Paranoid schizophrenia, that's the diagnosis of his mental condition. On October 27, 1969, Padar carried out the plan he had confided to his psychologist, stabbing and killing Tarasov. Tarasov's parents then sued Moore and various other employees of the university because they knew that Padar's plan, killing or stabbing Tarasov, but they didn't do anything for them. Okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. Okay. Counselors shall also attempt to diffuse the situation or take preventative action by whatever means are available and appropriate. So when we know something dangerous or any dangers can be happened to our clients or clients' families or any relatives and friends, and we have to do our best to do something for them. So we know it. Oh, maybe Padar wants to kill Tarasov. Okay, I understand you, but it is no good idea. So calm down and all right. Okay, that's it. You can go. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. You need to do something for that. It's the Tarasov rule. When clients threaten serious and imminent homicide or violence against an identifiable third person, fathers, mothers, wives, kids, husbands, and co-workers and friends, counselors shall inform appropriate law enforcement. If you don't know anybody, just call 911, okay? Or just call your local police department. And all medical crisis personnel and the at-risk person or close family member of the threats, except when precluded by compelling circumstances or by state law. When the client threats serious but not imminent, the counselor shall take a preventative clinical action that seeks to forestall any further escalation of threat toward violent behavior. Okay, your clients want to kill somebody or harm somebody right now. You have to do something for that. But your clients will kill or stab somebody maybe next year or next month. But still, you need to do something right away because you have to prevent any homicide or harming others. So that's your duty. Okay, last thing we want to take a look at is 1-440, disclosure for supervision, consultation, teaching, preaching, and publication. Can you use your counselor's case for your preaching or teaching? So you are a counselor, and you just learned something from your clients. The counseling session with your particular client, can you use the case for teaching other counselors? It's a tricky part, right? Let's take a look at it. Counselors under supervision will disclose that fact to their clients and adequately disguise client identifiers by various means when presenting cases in group or public forums. Christian counselors do not disclose. I think I lost the period. So when you want to utilize your case to another class to teach other counselors, what are you supposed to do? You want to modify that case, change the name, change other party's name, change the situation, maybe modify some other things, and you want to just use particular things out of your whole counseling sessions. Maybe you can do that. But if you want to use the real names, you can't do it. You want to just copy the same counseling situations to the class, you cannot do it. You need to modify that so nobody can guess that that's your client's case. Alright? Christian counselors do not disclose confidential client communications in any supervisory, consultation, teaching, preaching, publishing, or other activity without written or other legal authorization by the client. Well, you know what the supervision means? You are a counselor and you are still learning. You have your supervisor you can talk with, and you can have from your supervisor or supervisors. Even with the supervisors, you just talk with your supervisors is what so-called official conversation is supervision by your supervisors. Even during the supervision sessions, you cannot disclose any particular information, sensitive, very confidential things. You cannot talk with your supervisors. Counselors do not presume that disguise alone is sufficient client protection, but will consider seeking client authorization when client identity is hard to conceal. So overall, that means you want to just respect your clients. So if you think you need utilize any case, then you need to modify as much as you can, and you want to just protect the confidentiality as much as you want, as long as those are not any limitations and exceptions. Okay. Try your best to find any good, or best modifications of your cases. So, other than that, you cannot use your case for teaching, supervision, consultation, preaching, or publications. Then you will get in big trouble. You will lose your licenses, and maybe you can stand behind the bar because of it. Because those are very serious. Okay? Have any questions, comments? No? All of them? All right. Okay, I think that's all for today. And next week is the last class. So we want to just finish this code, code of ethics, right? Okay. Stay dry. Stay dry. See you next week.